What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here today with the review for The Real Housewives of Orange County, you guys. Season 17, Episode 7. The episode is titled, Oh Nobu, You Didn't. So, you guys, before we go ahead and get into this review, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on my channel, and you guys aren't subscribed yet, then I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, and sharing the video, you guys. And with that out of the way, you guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and discuss the Real Housewives of Orange County, shall we? All right, you guys, so I want you guys to just tell me down in the comment section, what are you guys thinking about Orange County so far? Are you enjoying it? Are you not enjoying it? For me, I will say this season is actually not like bad at all. I am enjoying it. I will say that Tamra, you're delusional as hell, but that's always been you, right? So we'll start off with Shannon. So we see Shannon. Now, can somebody tell me in the comment section, didn't Shannon and John break up with each other? Because I don't think that Shannon and John are together currently. But we saw Shannon and John, and they were having, dinner with each other, right? At his place. And so they were talking, about their relationship. And when they were talking about their relationship, I was like, aren't they broken up? Like, all right. But yeah, you guys, sorry, my phone. But yeah, aren't Shannon and John broke up? Because if I'm not mistaken, I think I read that after filming they had broke up with each other. But, they're talking about their relationship. And also Shannon is talking about her daughter, Sophie, and her boyfriend, right? So those two have decided to wait until, after they finish college to get married. And I was like, ooh. Here's my thing. I've said it plenty of times before. I think that, you should, I don't, if you want to get married young, that's fine. But I always think that it's better to wait until you're a little bit older to get married, right? Because when you're in your 20s, you just want to have fun and live your life, right? Go places, meet new people. And once again, I've never said this, and it's not something that I say. When I say, live your life, I just mean travel the world, find out who you are, find out the things that you like, find out what you don't like, right? It doesn't mean sleep around. It just means get to know yourself, explore the world. Maybe because you might live in Orange County and you might go to Paris and be like, oh, wow, I love it here. So that's what I mean when I say get to know yourselves. I don't mean anything sexual. I just mean get to know who you are. Was that dog supposed to be Beyonce? I'm sorry, you guys. They're promoting the hell out of that damn Barbie movie, right? And I saw a doll that I think it was supposed to be Beyonce, but it wasn't Beyonce. But that's neither here nor there. So then we later in the episode see Shannon as she took her daughters out, for to go shopping, right? So she took them to a consignment store. Now, see, here's the thing for me. I love a good consignment store. I like going. I've worked at Goodwill before, and you can find some nice stuff at Goodwill. Like, I know most times when people think about Goodwill and all that kind of stuff, they think of the trash. But what it is when it comes to Goodwill, I will tell you guys this about Goodwill because, like I said, I worked there, so I know how Goodwill operates. They have people in the back who sort through the stuff that people donate to them, and they look through stuff, so they won't put anything out there that's worn and weathered, right? They'll look through stuff, and they'll inspect everything before they put it out there. So they're not gonna put anything out there that if it needs to be thrown in the trash, it'll be thrown in the trash. They put stuff out there that's like new. They're not gonna give you anything that you can tell that it's the fabric is ripped apart, unless you get some denim distressed jeans. Then that, yes, you'll get that, but they're not gonna put anything out there that's torn apart, doesn't work, or anything like that. Especially like appliances and stuff. They're not gonna put anything out there that doesn't work. They're gonna check everything to make sure it works. They're gonna look at the clothing to make sure that it is fit to be worn, right? So yeah, don't look down on consignment stores because, like I said, you can find some nice things there, very nice things there. So she's talking to the twins about college, and that was really the end of her scene, right, you guys? So let's pause here and go ahead and move forward. Alright, guys, so the next thing that I really want to talk about, actually, let's just get Emily out the way. Emily didn't have much in this episode, but I did like Emily's scene, so we saw Emily. So Emily was, Shane had got home from work, right? So she was talking to Shane about her mom. So her mom had sent her some pictures of she and her sister when they were kids, right? And, it started Emily to thinking. So Emily asked Shane if he would be okay if, she invited her mom out there. And he said, yeah, right? So I think as Emily has gotten older, she's realized that her mom, she did the best she could with what she was given. And, you know, also the fact that her mom and her dad had divorced and her mom was sad. So I think your mom might have been depressed and had other issues. And, she just didn't find any resources that could have helped her get through that difficult time in her life. So she might not have been the most attentive, alert mom that she could have been if maybe she had sought out some, medical treatment. But, there's no rule book when it comes to parenting, right? You do the best you can with what you're given, right? And there are parents out there who have mental health issues, and some of them go undiagnosed, and if they're not the best to their kids, 9 times out of 10, that's why it's that way. So I think Emily, she's starting to realize the things that happened with she and her mom. So she went upstairs, she called her mom, and Emily was like, she wants her to spend time with her kids, right, to get to know the grandkids a little bit more. And so she asked her mom when she come out, and she was on the phone and she was crying. Her mom noticed it. She said, "Are you crying?" She said, "Yeah." She said, "You sent me the pictures. It just brought up some memories, right?" And so her mom agreed to come out there and be with her and the kids, right? And Emily also said that she doesn't need an apology from her mom. And I'm glad that you've gotten to that point, because that's where I've gotten with my biological mother. Like, I've gotten to the point in my life where I don't need an apology from her. I don't need anything from her. I just, if she can just, never mind. I was about to say something, but that'll probably never happen. But I don't have an issue with my biological mother, right? I just want, I just don't know what, I think what I would say for Emily, and it might be the same for myself, right? Go to therapy, right? And just, so for me, when it comes to my biological mother, I don't have any anger towards her. I don't have any resentment towards her. I don't feel anything that as when I was a teenager and in my 20s, I don't feel those things that I used to feel for her, right? I don't feel anything negative about her. I wish her nothing but the best in her, I just wish her the best, right? So I have nothing negative to say. And I feel like that's the same for Emily. And like I said, I think Emily might be beneficial to sit down with a therapist and just talk whatever issue, just talk about it, the things that hurt you in the past, right? And, for me, I do talk. I have people, I have friends that I talk to about the things that hurt me. I have family that I talk to about. So that's why I don't harbor, like I said, when it comes to my biological mother, I harbor no ill feelings towards her, no nothing, right? I don't feel anything negative towards her. But yeah, so let's go ahead and move forward, you guys. All right, you guys. So next up, let's talk about Jen real quick, you guys. So we see Jen. So she's at her yoga studio, and Gina stopped by, and so they talked about what happened in Montana. Here's my thing with Gina. I think Gina also needs to sit down with a therapist, right? Because Gina is still, Gina hasn't let go of the things that broke up her marriage to Matt. And I think that's what Heather was trying to tell her, but Gina took it the wrong way. I, I'm thinking that's what Heather was trying to say to you. Heather wasn't saying, like, what she was saying was, no man or no one is going to want to continuously hear about the things that happen with your ex and you're in a relationship with them, because it's going to seem like you're still living in the past. And I think that's what Heather was trying to say to Gina, and Gina just took it the wrong way. Gina Gina interpreted it wrong, and I think Heather may have worded it wrong. But I think that's what Heather was trying to say to her. Like, you are triggered by Jen, which I still don't understand how you're triggered by Jen, but hey, you triggered by Jen. But you're triggered by, and I can tell you why. I told you why she's triggered by Jen, because Gina hasn't dealt with what happened with her and Matt. You have not dealt with that. I think you've compartmentalized that and you tucked it away so far that it's out of sight, out of mind. But you seeing this woman who had an affair on her husband, and it's upsetting you and it's triggering you, right? So they made amends with each other, right? Now here's something that I want to say to Miss Jennifer. Why do you think that Tamra is your friend? What are you expecting from Tamra? Tamra literally, we'll get to that point. We'll talk about it when we get to the dinner. But Tamra proved in Montana that she's not your friend. With everything that she blurted out in front of the ladies, she proved that she's not your friend, because a real friend would have sat down with you long before y'all started filming or before y'all on that trip when she started to feel some type of way. She would have said it a long time ago. But we're going to delve into Tamra in just a little bit, you guys. But let's pause here and move forward. So we see Tamra, she's getting pedicures with Emily and Heather, right? So they talked about the trip to Montana. At this point, when it comes to Heather, I told you guys I'm not the biggest Heather Dubrow fan. I don't see it for Heather Dubrow. But what I will say is when they were talking about the situation with Heather and Taylor, Heather is so dismissive, and that's what's bothersome to me, is that she's so damn dismissive. And I love the fact that Emily straight up told her, like, Heather, the way that you made, that Taylor said you made her feel, you do that. It's like your stuff is more important than anybody else's stuff, and you diminish people. It's like you're up here, we're down here, and that's exactly what it is. Like, you do come across like you're better than people, and I'm like, I don't know how. Is it delusions? What is it? Because, and I be thinking to myself, do Heather not watch the episodes back? Because if you look at the episodes back, you can clearly see it. Like, you can clearly see it. And I'm just like, you must not watch episodes back, or if you do watch episodes back, you just so used to being that way that you're just completely oblivious to it. Because yeah, you definitely, it's like you look your nose down on other people. Now, like I said before, when it came to Taylor, was Taylor right to try to give her that role? No, that wasn't for her to do. But the way that, especially in Montana, the way that Heather came at Taylor, I really wonder what Heather thinks now that she actually saw the episode and saw the fact that, yes, Taylor didn't lie, that Tamra was shady as fuck about your career. I can't wait till we get to the reunion. But yeah, you guys, let's pause here and wrap up this episode. So, Heather is throwing a dinner for all the ladies at Nobu, right? So Taylor was one of the first ones there. They sat down, they talked about the movie, they talked about how out of control things got over in Montana, and they both apologized to one another, right? So the ladies all show up. So they get to Nobu. So Heather got the ladies chopsticks with their names engraved on it, and she got them Tom Ford candles. I was like, ooh, okay, this is why people say what they say, right? So they talked about Montana, and pretty much the whole focus was on Jen and Montana, right? How, Gina felt triggered. I was like, oh my God, if we talk about Gina feeling triggered one more time, I am going to scream. Like, I don't care that Gina was triggered. Gina needs to go see a therapist. Why are you triggered by this woman? You have not dealt with the stuff with you and Matt. You have not dealt with it. I don't care what she says. You haven't dealt with it, Gina, so please go see somebody and release that. Because like Heather said, there's only, it still seems like you're hung up on your ex, or you're still harboring some type of feelings or resentment. So how can you now say you're ready to move on in a new relationship, Gina? Go get help, girl. So Jen told Tamra how hurt she was by the things that Tamra said. And Tamra says that she feels like her boyfriend would cheat on her. I was like, oh my God, Jennifer, you do realize she's not your friend. A real friend would have pulled you to, even in Montana, she would have talked to, like, if Tamra was your friend, Tamra would have pulled you aside a long time ago and said something to you about this before the cameras came up and before y'all got around this group. Tamra would have said something to you long ago, especially if your boyfriend said he wanted to F her. But she never said anything about it. And Jim was like, "Don't do that, Tamra. Like I can say so much stuff about you." So Tamra got in her feelings and threw a napkin at Jen, right? And she got up and walked away. And so Shannon went behind her, right? So then Jen told the group that not Heather, but Tamra made some jokes about, what is her boyfriend's? I forget what her boyfriend's name, Ryan, right? And so Heather said, not Heather. Why do I keep want to say Heather? Because it's a Heather scene, right? So Jen wants to say that Tamra said to them in a joke that, should she take one for the team? I was like, oh no, she did not. She's like, she said, hi Jim, guys, should she take one for the team? So Gina and Emily both called out Heather and telling Heather that they don't think that Tamra is really her friend. I was like, Gina and Emily might not be my favorites on this show, but I absolutely 100% agree with them that Tamra is not Heather's friend, right? So while they're talking, Shannon and Tamra come back up and they catch the tail end of that conversation, right? So the acting coach that we met through Taylor, she's there, and her facial expressions were giving me life. So Tamra apologized for throwing the napkin at Jennifer, right? But she said she's livid. I'm like, Tamra. You're livid, but you're the one that's going around telling all these ladies things about her man and not having a conversation with your quote unquote friend, right? But you're livid, delusional. So Gina, she addresses how she felt with Heather, right? How, when she told Heather she was going for her real estate license and she mentioned Nikki, Heather, Gina's telling you she felt offended. You don't have to say if I made you feel that way. It's not if. It's you made her feel that way. And you say, you know what? I apologize for that. Gina, I don't think Heather gives that much of a fuck about you, sis. I just gotta keep it real with you. That's all I got, you guys. But overall, this episode wasn't bad. It was a pretty good episode. Let me know what you guys thought about it down in the comment section below. Please subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, share the video, you guys. And until the next time, stay safe out there, you guys. Take care of yourselves, wash your hands, be blessed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.